This highway is the absolute amazing highway, Albanian Highway. Now the 7 bridges which were missing are now built, and you see this enormous feast of engineering on this very complicated terrain to build this highway. It's already a decade old. It was opened in 2009 for the second elections of Berisha, and including the tunnel. And of course it was extremely fast and extremely courageous thing to do, very expensive, a lot of issues attached. But it turned out to be a heaven sent to connect this country. And I always want to explain why they have done it, because they see themselves as 2 Albanian states. Obviously they want to be connected, they want also to have the access to the open sea, and it's very important. And most of the decision makers on the Kosovo Albanian side, they were also warriors in the war, and they have liberated their country. They had the problems of supply. They needed the weapons from Albania, and in 1997, when the weapons caches were opened by the socialist revolutionaries after the pyramid scheme, then obviously Albania was flooded with Enver Hoxha's old Kalashnikovs, and the whole material was there. And then it had to be transported towards the Kosovo independence struggle of the armed variation, because Rugova wanted to have a peaceful struggle. He knew he had no arms and no chance against Milosevic. He tried it the peaceful way, but then 97 they saw the situation is changing and the weapons were available, and of course the shifting landscape, and then the full brutality of the Yugoslavian army cracked down on them, and they had to bring these weapons towards Kosovo, and they were basically carrying it on donkeys up. So the way was that they were basically trying to get this done, and it was very difficult for them. And the moment they were in power, it doesn't matter which variation of armed resistance struggle, of course the UCK or Ramush team or other splinter groups, they all wanted to have this highway, and then they ultimately did it. And it is a heaven sent for Albanian tourism industry. There are so many of the Kosovo Albanians going to Durrës, to the beach resort, and it's also for the interconnectivity and access to the sea for Kosovo. It's so important. They have now these custom terminals in Durrës, and they will also get a much bigger one in the new port, which now is soon hopefully under construction, Porto Romano, and then it will be the one unhindered access to the sea. I call just, for the authorities under EU pressure, they have not opened the borders fully. Goodness. And this is of course now the river to the Drin River. You see the bend. I really don't like it. It's very dangerous, and I'm always afraid to drop into the river here. You see the river is not at its maximum filled capacity. It has rained significantly, but still there is huge place in the reservoir for more winter rains to be stored. And then of course Albania can produce the energy also for Kosovo, for the region, because this is huge hydropower reservoir. The Drin River is in many ways the lifeline, the bloodline, the arteria of communication and energy supply for the Albanians. Not of communication, because this is a real, it's along the mountain valley, and there is no real parallel access road actually. But in energetic terms, Albania is depending on water energy. 90% are still today made from this river, and that's the famous bridge here where so many deadly accidents have happened in the past when it was not finished, and now they're renovating it again. That's very good. It's of course the Albanian standards of engineering are not as good as the Kosovo standards. The Kosovarians work on European lines, and it was the same company actually, the Bechtel, but simply here if anything said to be more improvised. That's the bridge at the factory, it's called. They have all these old mining facilities from the communist times which are no longer in use. That's why all these ruins are standing here around. And you see here the Drin River Valley in all its beauty and amazing kind of potential. And actually reality, because the Chinese have built these hydropowers, and they are very, very good. They were now renovated the last 20 years. A lot of Austrian technology and European money in it, Andritz and others, and it's very, very good. And now these are the backbone of the Albanian energy security, these hydropower projects. Now what is still missing after, I love it so much to have the 7 bridges which were incomprehensibly not built in the beginning, but now only one of the big bridges is not built, and then the highway is basically until the end of highway in Reshen, and then unfortunately from Reshen to Milot there is still no highway, and so we are in that kind of situation, and we are a little bit late on that one, but okay, good. They are building now the Drin River bridge, which is the most important bridge in the region, and I hope it will be finished very soon. I'm gonna show you all this part of the road from the border to the Drin River bridge, and then there's the tunnel part until basically where we really cross in the mountains, and then we are heading over to that's the airport of Kukës. That's now in operation actually. You can fly from Vienna to Kukës. I've never tried it, but I saw it. It's now possible to do, and that's really cool. And here you see then that's Kukës. That's the northern most important capital, regional capital of north eastern Albania. Kukës is quite a city of substance. I've shown it to you in one of my podcasts in some years ago, I think. Yes, I do this only since 2020, so it's not so long ago. It must have been with Edison, I was sitting there, I think so. And we were traveling some years ago. So here we are in Kukës, and then we have here this beautiful city, and then we see in a second, you will see all this important infrastructure and what's happening here. I show you this city, and here is the big bridge. Here you see very good. In a moment there's the energy infrastructure, and then this huge hydropower reservoir, which is so amazing. And sorry, I was yawning. And look at it, here it is. Yeah, this is really astonishing and amazing, and you can see all the beauty of it. Here's a very nice restaurant here, and then you see this very amazing new bridge. It will be fantastic when it's finished. Yeah? I'm not sure how long it will take still, but it's really impressive bridge, and it will be a fantastic asset of infrastructure of this region. I don't know how they will do it, the whole bridge over there. I don't know how big this all will be, but it will be fundamental, and it will of course make traveling even more easier between Albania and Kosovo, and also make the north of Kosovo, of Albania, much more reachable, further interconnect. And I hope this summer for 2023 this should be ready. That would be of course amazing. Here we are now at the bridge. This is the Drin River bridge. The present conditions are not so. Yes, go. And you see, this is the beautiful Drin River. It's quite amazing.